Thank you very much for joining today. It's a pleasure for me to introduce VRMagic to you. In the course of the next hour, I'm going to give you a short motivational introduction of VRMagic, followed by presentations for Eyesi Direct and Earsi Otoscope. I will also spend a few words on the networking capabilities of our systems, and then we'll have a short demo of the Direct, a short break, Q&A, and then also have a live demo on the Otoscope. So the advantages of simulation, I think, should be very familiar to the audience joining today, but maybe in short, there's a range of easily accessible learning opportunities. There's the freedom to make mistakes. You have feedback and evaluation, and learning experience can be customized. So these are some, if not, but not all of the benefits of using simulators. And VRMagic has been a pioneer and leader in ophthalmology and medical education. We've been in the market for many, many years and covering a whole range of different surgical and diagnostic simulators. And today the focus is going to be on the Direct, Ophthalmoscope, and Earsi Otoscope, which are designed to be used in medical education programs, student education, and so forth. Okay, VRMagic simulator concepts they're all standalone devices. They're very easy to use through the touch screen, which are provided with the systems. All systems are highly realistic 3D dynamic interactive models. We have built-in training courses to allow ease of use and deployment of the system. Evaluation and feedback is integrated. These are multi-user systems, so every student can work on individual training accounts, and all simulators are equipped with networking capabilities, which offer additional features and ease of use. So the benefits are obviously teachers spend less time with teaching, high availability, you have steep learning curves, rare cases can be looked at and diagnosed, standardized training with predictable outcomes, objective evaluation is built in, and through the networking capabilities, we also have a model of training large classes. And also important in these times is that the individual training design of our virtual reality systems allow self-training on the system and minimize the interaction between students, fellow students, teachers and students, and trainees and patients as well, obviously. So the first system I would like to introduce is the Eyesi Direct Ophthalmoscope. You can see here the setup of the system. It comes with a height adjustable table. Then you have the computing unit in the back, and you have the virtual patient mask here. You have the Direct Ophthalmoscope and the touchscreen control monitor to control the system. Yeah. Here's a little video. That introduces the system to you, which I'm going to share now.
Eyesi Direct is handled exactly the same way as its real counterpart. Looking through the ocular, students can examine virtual patients of varying age and ethnicity. Diopter settings and light intensity can be adjusted through controls on the Ophthalmoscope handpiece. After each virtual eye exam, trainees receive detailed feedback.
Okay, that was a little sneak peek on the product. Well, the Eyesi Direct is, and that certainly also applies to all our systems, a highly realistic 3D simulator. Yeah, so the training environment is highly realistic. You have a handpiece that feels like a real ophthalmoscope. There's a built-in high-precision tracking system that allows to measure the device handling accurately. And the eye model is 3D and dynamic, yeah, with parallax and depth perception, which you don't find on 2D flat images. Yeah, operation is lifelike. You have the diopter setting on and the focus wheels on the handpiece, and the viewing angle and the controls can be also changed over the touchscreen monitor, which you will see later on the live demo. The training occurs on a virtual patient database. Yeah, we have basically two classes of training modules. One is basic motoric skill training modules, and the second class is common clinically relevant pathologies. So the goal is here to train not as many as possible, but to put the focus on the quality of the training. The system comes with a structured curriculum that starts with, it's a 4-tier curriculum, which you can see here on the right side. It starts with the device handling tasks. Then there is a retina documentation level. Then the teaching training mode occurs here in level C, and in level D we have an exam mode where the skill that's been trained in the previous levels is being tested by a Q&A. Yeah, and all the while the educators can track the training performance of the students, while the students can are training on the simulator. The Earsi Otoscope is very similar by its design. Yeah, you can see also tell from the previous structure that the only thing that seems to have changed is the ear. So the patient mask is replaced by the ear.
Excuse me, can I ask a question regarding the ophthalmoscope?
Yes, sure.
So what are the different modes that can the student look through? I mean, like, does it have different type of diseases, all the retinal problems and these things, or just, and how can we choose?
Yes, so the training on the system occurs basically, yeah, if you look at it's a case-based training. Yeah, so you have different cases built into the system, different pathologies, mostly common clinically relevant pathologies, but you also have a second class of motoric skills, yeah, as indicated in this window. Okay, and the pathologies are which are built into the system show up like this. There are training objectives, there's some information on the patient, and there's a disorder described or description of the disorder, and then you examine the patient on the simulator. Yeah, and the content of the training, whether you are looking at a pathology or a basic skill task, depends on where you are here in the curriculum. So in the device handling level, in the first level, you start with motoric skill tasks. Yeah, we'll show it. We'll look at a few examples later in the practical part. Yeah, whereas, and then this is level B, is an anatomy. It's basically about anatomy. You look at the healthy retina and identify healthy structures to understand what the anatomy of the eye is. And the pathology level is here in level C. Yeah. But we think, yeah, so here is this level C is where you look at pathologies. But again, this is mainly about common diseases, common pathologies, because the target group we think is appropriate for this kind of product are students. Yeah, so you know, common diseases, AMD, diabetes, these kind of diseases that everyone should know. Yeah, and
Okay, one more question.
Sure.
Is it upgradable so it can be used even for postgrad, like residence and training, or just it's at the level of students?
Well, yeah, we actually have, let's say, we are thinking about this. There is no plan to do that at the moment, but I do not want to exclude that we may offer upgrade packages with other pathologies. Yeah.
Okay.
We have a global health package that we released recently, which is also available on the system. But these are exotic diseases and third world diseases, but they are also available on the simulator. So this would be an example of how the content could be extended in the future. But there's no, let's say, concrete plan to do that at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Is the user able to create his or her own cases, or you don't have this option yet?
No, that is unfortunately not possible because our cases are models. Yeah, they are designed, they are built. These are not flat 2D images. Yeah, and so each case is prepared, it's built, the 3D model is built, and the didactic content is also added to that case, particular case. So adding could theoretically be, it's theoretically possible, but doing that by yourself is not possible because these are really 3D complicated models that you're looking at and not simple, simple cases. But again, this reflects the idea that of the product, or the spirit of the product is train fewer cases, but train them well and make sure that students learn them and benefit from them. Yeah, instead of looking hundreds of cases,
of course,
without really going into deep, too much depth. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
More questions on Eyesi Direct? Okay. Again, we will have maybe another short Q&A after the practical demo on the Eyesi Direct later on when we switch the devices. So here's the Otoscope. From its design, very similar to Eyesi Direct. Yeah. We have also prepared a video for you that I'm going to share with you now.
Earsi Otoscope allows for realistic examinations of the outer and middle ear. The simulator is equipped with a lifelike model ear and Otoscope handpiece.
Oops. Sorry. I think I'm experiencing network problems. May I ask if you can still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I hope this gave you a kind of an introduction into the system. So the whole concept is very similar to the Eyesi Direct. It's a highly realistic 3D simulation environment, yeah, with a dynamic model of the ear canal and the middle ear, yeah. So you really have parallax. It's not, again, not a flat 2D image, and the high precision tracking of the handpieces allow really to measure and evaluate the accuracy of handling the device. It's a lifelike model, and it really, follows the different, allows you to really also to use the different kind of techniques, how you would hold the pencil grip, and again, a very highly realistic 3D visualization and training experience. Same case-based learning with based on real patients. We have also here two kinds of different classes. One is the motoric skills, and then again, common clinically relevant pathologies that the trainee can look and examine while he's working on the curriculum. Yeah. The curriculum here has only 3 tiers. It's a little bit different. It starts with the healthy ear and it moves on to the basic findings and diagnoses. This is where you look at pathologies and try to identify structures and get feedback from the system, very, very similar to the Eyesi Direct. And in level C, you have to specify and mark your findings, specify the findings, and do your diagnosis, all the while being evaluated from the system. Okay. So before I move on to the networking features of the systems, any questions on Eyesi otoscopes at this point? No. Okay. So I mentioned that our systems also have networking features, network capabilities, which can be summarized under the word VRMagic, which is a web-based training portal that we built up in the past several years. What does the networking portal offer? Well, first of all, it allows you, when the systems are networked, to administrate the systems remotely from your office. So meaning that creating user accounts, you don't need to have to go to the system to create them, but you can do that comfortably from your office, and you can also train the training success and of your trainees from the office as an educator. And this is obviously very important if you have many students, because the more students you have, the more work is associated with in administrating all these accounts. Yeah? And we have built some software tools which are available online through this web portal that make your life much more easy to handle the high number of student numbers that are being routed through the training program. Another nice feature of this web portal is that we have prepared online orientation or introduction videos to the simulator, so that every student can check those videos and understands how to use the simulator before going there. Yeah, which also reduces the interaction with the teacher. And then there is also a personal library of anatomical and pathological findings for the trainees. So while they're training on the simulator, they identify finding structures that are associated with diseases, and those are stored in the database for follow-up study. Yeah, and then there are also automatic software updates that can be done all the while the simulator is when the simulator is connected to VRMagic online. So I mentioned this comfortable setup of users, course management, monitoring of students' trainings process. Yeah, you see us here on the right-hand side, a little video how that would look like. The performance assessment, the educator has these tools that I mentioned to really look at the progress of the trainee through the curriculum. Yeah, you see on the right-hand side level A, B, C. Yeah, and the different scores that the student has achieved in those different levels, and that makes the whole monitoring process also very comfortable and easy. The students also have an access. So once those are connected, every student gets an own training account as well. That provides not only the orientation course that I mentioned previously for the student to understand how the system is being used before going to the simulator, but also has a personal training status and statistics together with his findings library. The online orientation course, in brief, it's a step-by-step course to the simulator. You see here on the right-hand side, these are 10 steps that the student needs to follow through, and at the end there's a little Q&A to make sure that he has really understood what the content of the previous pages has been. Yeah. So if you
can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Yeah. So outside the VRNet, so VRMnet, sorry. If someone doesn't get the subscription, are those available also with the on-site? I mean, like evaluation, exams, gradings, etc., etc. Is it also available within the basic system, or it's only available with the VRMnet?
Well, the training content is available, continues to be available on the system, but the online content needs to be, yeah, you need a subscription to have access to that. Yeah.
Okay, and the evaluation of the students' performance
is then being done on the system. The evaluation information is on the system, but you see, for 500 students, analyzing the training and performance can be tedious. So it's, I think, much more easy and extremely helpful to use the web portal. Yeah. Easy to monitor 3 people, but it's another thing to monitor 300 people.
Exactly. So this is within the management solution that is provided within the VRMnet or the online solution.
Yes, yes, but you need a subscription for it. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
I think it's a great tool for the current situation with the pandemic, that the students are allowed to access it remotely and getting the material, the orientation, and going through the curriculum and get all of this information before getting in contact. So this means like less direct contact when they are at the university, and this is it's something good for the current situation.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. I mean, the systems can be used in the traditional classroom teaching, but they also offer a completely different workflow to train these big numbers of students, which is depicted here. So basically, you have an online user creation on the system, on the web portal. The students can then log in, they get an email with their account. The students need to log in on their account and do the online orientation course first. And then once they do that, the account will be unlocked and they can go to the system and then practice on the system themselves, more or less. Yeah. All the while being monitored, they're getting the evaluation from the system. Yeah. And the feedback, but at the same time, the teacher can also look into that, whether they are, where they are in the curriculum. And then at the end, the system basically, when they're through, they have the training history and evaluation available on the system, and the teacher can verify that, through the data that is available online without going to the system, basically. Yeah, I think it may require some adaptation how to organize that, but the tools ingredients are there really to provide for a safe way of quality training, for the students. Yeah, and it also, see, this kind of model makes sure that every student is doing the same thing, and also assures that there is a skill transfer while they are training on the system. And I think I also have some short video here for the VRMnet, which summarizes the previous slides, which I'm going to share with you now. Sorry. Here we go.
New online features for VRMagic diagnostic simulators are available on VRMnet. The dashboard is the new VRMnet starting point for trainees. It displays a personalized overview on training results and statistics, as well as findings found during the simulator training. On first login, users are presented with a completely redesigned orientation course containing new step-by-step videos and descriptions. The orientation course brings users up to speed quickly on correct and safe simulator usage before using the simulator for the first time. On the My Findings page, users can view their complete findings library online. Please contact us for more information.
Yes, so that has been from my part, and I would like to then start with the practical part, if there are no questions at this point.
Yeah, just one last question. Is the LDAP integration available within the VRMnet?
No, I'm afraid no.
So the students will be, we will be needing to create each account with the username and password for the students, or we can import their university's login credentials to the VRMnet.
That is possible, but you would need those in let's say, if there are a lot of them, you would probably need an Excel list, and you can export this as a CSV or an Excel file into the system. Yeah, but you would have to create that list from the student, yeah, first.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then I will then go next door and start with the practical part. The first part will be the Eyesi Direct simulator, and then we'll have a short Q&A while we're switching the devices, and continue then with the Earsi Otoscope. Yeah. So. So here we are again. I hope I'm visible and the technical setup is working so far. I'm going to explain a little bit once again the hardware platform before we look into the content. This is the patient mask which you have here, which I will be examining. The head can be tilted so that you can adjust it to your needs. You have the direct ophthalmoscope here with illumination, where you can change the illumination and the focus switch. I will log in now. I have prepared the user account for this demonstration. I will log in here on the system with my user account. Okay. Once I log in, I can see here the courseware structure. This is the 4-tier level, A, B, C, and D. Yeah. This is the teaching and training mode, and this is the exam mode concerning pathologies. But I would like to start, let's shortly reset the whole course here with the device handling course in the beginning. Now, device handling, how can I check what does device handling mean? There's a course description which tells me that I need to find abstract objects on the retina, and the very precise tracking on the system really then allows to verify that I'm able to handle the device. So I'm starting up the case. Yeah. The system tells me find the following structures on the right eye, on the left eye. So I think you should be able to see the live view. Yes, the live view shows you a screen, yeah, with some text. Yeah. The first thing I do, I use the focus wheel to adjust focus on this touch screen, on the screen, text screen. And once I activate the illumination, yeah, you will start seeing the patient. Yeah. Here we go. And here's the patient eye. You see, it's a dynamic model. Yeah. This is the right eye. This is the left eye. Yeah. Light sensitive. And when I change the intensity, the ring here on the direct ophthalmoscope, it also changes the illumination intensity on the ophthalmoscope. Okay. And now I can start examining the patient. So this is about finding abstract objects. Make sure that I'm able to use the device properly. And what you can see in the middle of the screen, now let me maybe here on the touch screen, I will choose a little bit larger aperture. So now I get close to the patient, and you can see this white cross, yeah, in the middle of my in the middle of the screen. And now here's the optic disc, yeah, and there is one abstract object, yeah, found on the retina. And if I direct this white cross onto this object and stay on it, then the system recognizes this as to be found, and gives me a feedback, which is a bing, a sound, and that object pops up in the findings library. Here's another one.
Trident object.
So, and so far, and so on. And I can do the same thing on the left eye as well. So I can use maybe my left hand here. So again, here's the pupil, and I'm trying to find
Trident object.
So, and in that way, I need to find all objects on the retina, and those objects which are found show up in the messages library. And this is the way the system or the student or the system verifies that the student is able to use the device properly. Yeah, that he's able to look into the periphery, and the next. So when I press quit here, when I'm done, I press quit. I get my evaluation screen, and you see on the left eye, this is the left eye, this is the right eye, the structures which I found, and it tells me which I have seen, which I have not seen, and bases the evaluation on that. Okay. I close the case. So this was an example of device handling. I will jump on to level C, the learning mode. So what does that mean? I have here a list of available cases. These are mentioned common diseases, diabetes, AMD. So I will start up one of them, yeah, diabetes. So I know, imagine I'm a student, I know what disease that is. It's a diabetic patient. So the system tells me that I have to find hard exudates and dot plot hemorrhages on the right eye, cottonwool spots and hemorrhages on the left eye. Yeah, explains a little bit the disorder this patient has, and I will start with the examination. So again, you see now the pupil is light responsive. Oops, I hope you can see that. So the higher the intensity, the smaller it gets. So what I'm doing now is I'm making my life easy. I'm dilating the eyes. I can do that with this button on the right-hand side of the touch screen. So now the pupils are dilated, so it makes my life much easier, yeah, to examine the retina. And I can also change the viewing or the gaze, yeah, of the patient. For example, if I want him to look right or left, and I can do that with the control that is available here on the touch screen as well. But I also have the freedom to move in relation with regard to the patient as I wish to. So let's examine the eye. And the system tells me exudates found, and there are here some red dots. What are these? Dot plot hemorrhage. The system tells me dot plot hemorrhage. So, and when I find these findings, these structures, these appear in the messages box, which you can see on the left-hand side, and these are explained then to me. So the systems explain to me what I'm seeing. Yeah, there's a disease, there's the diabetes, which I'm examining, and I'm finding structures that are associated with it, and the system explains to me what these are. So this is kind of interactive learning that's been implemented on the system. We think that is a very efficient way of learning, and in that way, theory and practice come together. Again, maybe let's have a look at the right eye as well, left eye as well. So what are these? Cotton wool spots. Cotton wool spots. And this also doesn't look normal. Dot plot hemorrhage. And another dot plot hemorrhage. And again, these are explained. So all the while I'm training on the system explains to me what I'm seeing there. And so I understand a little bit more about the pathology. And when I'm finished, I press quit. Yeah. System gives me my evaluation. And then I can move on to the next case. So that was an example of level C. The exam
sorry, Ken, I just need to highlight something quickly for just everyone to get a better view. If you are from your laptop or your computer, just select View Active Cameras from the top instead of everyone. And if you are from your mobile, you will find on the left corner down there 3 dots where you can select View Who is Talking. So this is you will be able to see only one screen instead seeing the grid for everyone. Sorry for interruption.
Okay, so and the last level of the curriculum that the student should typically work through would be the exam mode. So see, I cannot select an individual case, but instead a random case is started that I have to examine. I have to mark my findings, and then I'm being evaluated. Yeah. So let's check the live view again. Let's examine the patient. There's a patient history. Yeah. It's a male, 58 years old. So let's look at the fundus. So again, maybe I will dilate the eye. Yeah. Yeah. I can see some there's something, well, the optic disc is hardly visible. There's some flame-shaped hemorrhages. Yeah. And could be a vein occlusion. Maybe yes, maybe not. So I will then mark my findings here on the optic disc. What do we see here? Well, whether it's some patent lines, I'm not sure. There were some flame-shaped hemorrhages. And depending on the case, there are also additional procedures that have been done on the case, so I can study them. That will help me even further. And at the end, when I'm done, the system also provides sometimes some follow-up questions when they are reasonable, so I will skip them here. And then the system gives me my feedback. And so obviously I need to train more. Yeah. And I think that closes the practical part on the Eyesi Direct. I want to mention at this point that each system, and I think I mentioned this in the PowerPoint, comes with another list of, we call it the global health package, with another list of third world diseases like dengue, malaria, Ebola viruses, which also manifest in changes in the retina, which you can examine here on the system. They are outside of the standard student curriculum, but here you can see them as well. So, any questions before we switch to the otoscope at this point from anyone? Okay, I think then maybe we'll quickly switch to devices, which will take up 5 minutes, and then we'll continue with the demo of the Otoscope. So thank you for your patience. Kann ich das Video hier irgendwie ausmachen?
Kannst du auch ausmachen, dann gucken wir uns auch an, was es rausziehen. Ja.
Okay, are we online? Oh, very well, thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for your patience. Here's the Otoscope. I think we can also increase the height here a little bit. So the concept is very much the same. The interface is different. As before, I will log in with my prepared user account. Okay, so and you can immediately see the courseware structure. It's a three-tier. It has 3 tiers. Healthy ear. This is about anatomy, basically, the first level. Then in the second level, we call it findings diagnosis, is again the learning mode, like we have demonstrated on the Eyesi Direct, and the exam mode in level C. So I think I will jump right into level B, if you don't mind. So this is the handpiece, which has also a screen inside. So I really have to look into the otoscope when I'm using it. So let's look at a barotrauma. Yeah, so a rupture of the tympanic membrane. So what does it say? This young woman has been water skiing in the morning. At high speed, she lost balance and fell onto the water. She felt a sharp pain in her ear, and yeah, but pain has subsided, but she has the impression that hearing quality is impaired. So the first thing I can do here is I can check also the ear from the exterior, yeah, if I want to, and depending on the case, that is probably something I may wish to do. And then when I approach the ear, yeah, you can see immediately that that the system realizes that I'm starting the examination. So see, when I go to the external ear, I can see that is all being tracked. And now I want to examine the inner ear. So I'm pulling a little bit the ear here. And here we go. Yeah, and that is the perforation. So I can see the perforation. That's a tympanic membrane. Yeah. So rupture is clearly visible. Yeah, and I can examine the whole ear. So, and again, same concept. Perforation is explained here through the feedback that I receive from the system. So while I'm training, I get the explanation on the system. Yeah. Then here I can, in addition, also specify, the color. I think that was a little bit reddened, and the cone of light. I think it was absent. Yeah, and if I'm not sure, I can check again. So what about the landmarks? I think they were partly visible. I'm not sure. I can just check again. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Partly visible. And then what about the position? I think that was neutral. It's not retracted. And the surface was pretty dull, I guess. And it was also opaque. So, and then when I'm done, I get the evaluation. In that case, seems like I did a good job. Yeah. Yeah. And when I'm done, I can close the case and I can move on to the next one. So I think what I wanted to do was to show you also a case which shows that these are truly 3D dynamic cases. Yeah. So I've chosen otitis media case where you can see the pus. Yeah, it's very purulent, and you can see how it's really pulsating. Yeah. So this is an AOM case. So here we go. There we go. Yeah. You see. Yeah, I hope you can see the pulsation. Yeah. And then another perforation. Okay. So again, we have here in the findings library the perforation as well as the otorrhea, yeah, the ear discharge, the drainage, yeah, and it's moving, yeah. So again, showing you that we don't have just 2D flat images, 3D real models, yeah. We have more than one dynamic case, but I think it pretty much highlights the concept of the system that we have implemented. Maybe to close this up, because I think we have now almost 1 hour, one other final example, which is the tumor. Yeah, that's the case number 1401. Okay, woman presents in your office and complains of a sound in her ear. Started 5 months ago. Describes it as a tinnitus, similar to a tinnitus, and also pulsating sound. Yeah, hearing has diminished. Let's check. And I hope you can see how it's pulsating, how it's moving. Yeah. And also. Okay. And again, the paraganglioma is explained to the student. Yeah. And in addition, you have to mark the findings here, which I'm not going to do. I think that closes up the practical part on the Eyesi Otoscope. If you have any questions, please, I think that would be, let me know. Are there any questions maybe? Okay, so I hope it was an informative meeting for everyone. Thank you again for your time, for joining and giving us the opportunity. Please, if there is anything open, any more questions which come to your mind later on, feel free to contact us, Simulate, and we look forward to hearing from you. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Chawil, Mahmoud, you take over.
Yeah, thanks, Kane, and thanks for everyone. We'll have this. We have already had this session recorded, so in case of any of the customers would like to get it, just let us know. And thanks again, VRMagic, for this great presentation. And if we have no more question, we can end up the meeting.